Hello everybody, welcome back to my spring 2021 series. I am so excited. Remember, this is in collaboration with Rosa Kelly from Rosa Kelly Scrapbooking and Deborah Adams from Deborah Adams Creative Life. Both of their YouTube channels will be linked below. There is a giveaway, so to enter the giveaway you have to comment every day for 6 days on the videos, and then I will pick a winner from one of those comments, and the winner will be announced May 3rd, and I will show what we're giving away on the 6th day of our series. Okay, so this is what we are creating today. So this is a photo holder. So it's got a magnetic closure and it's got a nice large expandable pocket in here, and I show you guys how to make the whole thing in the video. And the inspiration behind this was, there's so many times we create an album and we want to make we want to put the pictures in, but sometimes we can't put them in right away. So this is just a really great place to store your pictures until you have time to put them in the album. So I made this one to match one of my recent tutorials, and I'll link this tutorial below. So it matches this, so that then when I'm ready to add photos into this book, I can just grab the pictures from here and get ready to add them in, and they match, so I know that these photos go with this album. So I'm super excited to bring you guys this tutorial. It's a quick and easy one, and I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you all tomorrow for day 4 of my spring series. Bye-bye. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get started making our cute little expandable photo storage folder. So here is the cardstock you're going to need. I'm using 110-pound cardstock. You're going to need one that measures 9 by 5, and on the 9-inch side you're just going to score it at 1 inch on both sides. Then you're going to need one that measures 8 by 5, and you're just going to score that on 1 inch at 1 inch on one side. And then you're going to need one that measures 4.5 by 5, and you're going to need to score that at 1 inch on the 4.5-inch side. And then you're going to need 2 pieces that measure 4 by 6 7/8, and you are just going to score that on the 4-inch side at 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inches. And then you're going to want to fold that, both of them up accordion style. Okay, so I'm going to go down first like that, and then I'll go up, and then I'll go down again, just like this, just accordion folded. Okay, so we're going to set these 2 pieces aside, and we are going to work on the piece that measures 8 by 5, okay, and we're going to have scored already at 1 inch on the 8-inch side. All right, so now you need 4 strips of pattern paper, 2 that measures 6 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch, and 2 that measure 3/4 of an inch by 4 3/4. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a frame with these. So I'm going to put them all like this in a rectangle. So the first thing we're going to do is take one 6 3/4 piece and one 4 3/4 piece, and I'm just going to put them corner to corner like this, so that they are even on both sides, like that. Okay, so just make sure that they're even here and here, like this. And then we're going to grab a scissor, and you are going to cut from this corner up to there. Just like that. So you'll get 2 triangles that come off, and then you'll get this little frame edge right here. So let's do the same thing on this one, and it doesn't matter which one's on the top and which one's on the bottom, just that they're even on those 2 sides. And then again, just snip up to your corner like so. And then you'll grab one of the ones that's already angled, And we're going to angle the bottom piece as well. So again, just make sure they're even. And then just line it up and snip across. And then we'll do this last one down here. So line it up. Make sure they're even. And we'll snip across. Just like that. All right, so now what we need to do is turn these over so that this one now will be over here. And then we'll flip this, and you'll flip this to this side, and you'll flip this one like so, okay? And I'm gonna grab some tape. You can use 3/4 inch, you can use 1/2 inch. I just like to use 1/4 inch tape. And what I'm gonna do is just tack these together at the back with the tape. Just like so. And there's a lot of different ways you could approach this. You could lay it right onto your piece and do this process. But I find that it is so hard for me to line up these little frames that this is just the absolute easiest method, is to pre-line them up and just tack them together with the tape and then place them on my piece and then do my aperture. All right, just like this. And now we have our perfect little frame, okay? So if you do, I just have a little overhanging here, tape, that's all right. Now we need to bring back in our 8x5 piece, and we are gonna go ahead and remove the backings of the tape here on all 4 sides. And then I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac glue, and I'm going to put it on the back of my frame here, just like so. A little rogue piece of tape there. And I like to use Fabri-Tac for this step because it gives me a little second to wiggle my frame around to make sure I get it really nice and even. Okay. So now I'm going to pick this whole thing up. Make sure my words aren't upside down. If you're using directional papers, be aware of that. And then place it on here so that I have that nice frame of white all the way around the outside, okay? Just like so. So that was so much easier than trying to place these on here and getting them perfect. It's always been a huge frustration for me. So I really like this method, okay? I'm gonna set that aside to dry for a second, and we're gonna work on our lid piece that comes down from the top, okay? So remember, it measures 4.5 by 5, and on the 4.5 inch side, you're just gonna score it 1 inch, okay? And then what we're gonna do is you're gonna take your ruler and you're gonna mark up 1.5 inches from the opposite end to where you scored. So from the bottom here, you're gonna mark up 1.5 inches on both sides, okay? And then you're gonna find your center, which is 2.5, and you are going to make a mark there as well. And I'm just gonna get my paper trimmer, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in, and I'm gonna cut straight across here. Like that, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Just cut straight across. Just like this, okay? So I'm going to set this aside for just a second, and I'm going to grab my eraser, and I'm going to erase these marks. anything that you'll be able to see afterwards, after we put pattern paper on, I would erase. All right, and now I'm going to grab a piece of pattern paper. I'm using this pretty print here. And this piece measures 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, okay? And then we're just going to place it right on our lid here. And you're going to align it so that there is an equal amount of white showing on these 3 sides, just like this. And then I'm going to make a little mark here on our point. And I'm going to make a mark here about the same amount up that I have white showing up there, okay? We're just creating an even border. And depending on what your pattern paper looks like, you might have to do a darker line. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring my paper trimmer back and I'm going to trim from here to there and from there to there, okay? So just align it again and cut, and align it again and cut. So now we have our little layer, and I'm going to again just erase my marks that I made. It's pretty hard to see the marks in this paper, so that's a good thing. All right, and now this is just gonna layer right on top of here. So I think I'll just use my, let's see if my fabric tag wants to play. It's very empty. All right. All right, just like this. And that's gonna go just really nicely layered right into there. Just like that. And that finishes our little lid section. And let's go ahead and attach pattern paper to the inside back. Let's go ahead and attach pattern paper to the inside back of our folder and then the back as well. So for the inside back, I think I just want to do this pretty pattern here. And you do want to attach your pattern paper before you add your accordion sides. So we've got all of our pieces prepped. Now we're going to go ahead and cut out our frame here. So what you're going to need for that is a cutting surface. So I just use an old Cuttlebug plate, like an old cutting plate for a die cutting machine, but you can use almost anything. And a ruler. All right, so I'm going to grab that and my craft knife. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start about 1/8 of an inch down from the top here, and that's where I'm going to start cutting. So you can use the guidelines on your ruler for that. So if you want 1/4 inch, you could start at 1/4 inch. If you want 1/8, you could start at 1/8. And then I'm going to stop about 1/8 from the bottom here, okay? So about that much white is what I'm going to leave showing. All right, so I'm going to start and run it all the way down to about 1/8 down here. Just like this, and that'll give you this, okay? Now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna line it up here. So you're gonna line up the ruler with where your previous cut line ends, and then leave about the same amount of space over here, and just cut across and stop about 1/8 of an inch before you get to this side over here. All right, and then that cuts that out. And if you do have where you're not fully getting it on the corners here, you can just go in with your scissor and snip that. Okay, just like that. And now we'll just do these other two sides. So we've got our frame all cut out here. Now what we're going to do is grab a piece of acetate that measures 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and we're just going to place that right on the back. So I've just got some 1/4 inch score tape all around the back, and you can also use vellum for this step if you'd like. I love the softness of vellum. And we're just going to place that right on the back here, just like so. All right, and then that is our cute little window ready to go. So now we just need to assemble the whole thing. We've got all of our pieces ready. The first thing we're going to do is put our top and bottom pieces on. So I'm going to go ahead and add glue to this side of my flap here. And we don't need to angle these because they are not going to be showing. Just like this. And then this one is going to go evenly on top of this one. Just like that. You can just arrange it a little bit if you need to. And then we can burnish it down. And now this one is going to get attached up here like this. So just again, get your glue on there. I'm just using the art glitter for this part. And place that onto this. And just make sure it's nice and even. Just like that. And then we can burnish that on. All right, so now that's looking really pretty already. So now we need to get our accordion sides on. And I'm just going to erase my little measurements here. And we're going to want to put them on so that the point, our little W, the point of our little W is towards the inside of our folder, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add my glue here to this section. And you are going to place it all the way to the edge on this side here, and with just a little bit of space top and bottom. So just like this, we've aligned it all the way to the edge, and then I just have a teensy bit of space at the top and a teensy bit of space at the bottom. And I can open it and burnish that. So this is why we attached our pattern paper first, because it would have been pretty hard once that's done. All right, so we're going to attach the other one the same way with the little point going towards the inside. So we'll go ahead and add our glue to this section here. Like so. And again, attach it so it's all the way along the side and just a little bit of space top and bottom, just like so. And then again, we can just burnish that down. All right, so now these are going to come in, and this is going to come on top of them just like this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add tape to these. Now I'm going to go ahead and just remove the backings from one side first. And I'm going to hold it down and bring up my side over here. And make sure that they align nicely. And then I'll just kind of press that down in here. And then we will do the other side. Just remove the backings. And bring it in. All right, so we've got both of our sides attached now. So you can go ahead and give that a bit of a burnish, and then this is going to come over the top just like this to create our adorable little photo storage. So now we just need to add our magnetic closure. Okay, so I've got one of my larger basic gray magnets here, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove the stickers from the backs of both of them. I've already snapped them together, and I'm just going to place one right about there, well, both of them. I'm going to close it over, and I'm going to make sure that my top is nice and square and that my sides are where they're supposed to be, about like this. And then I'll press down here. All right, so we've got our nice magnetic closure on there. All right, so now we just need to cover here and here. So I have a little piece of my ephemera right here, and I want to make sure that it stays underneath there. So this is just a piece of the ephemera from the collection. And I think I'm going to use tape to attach it. So I'm just going to put some tape on the back of this here, like so, and then remove the backings. This tape really likes sticking to acetate, so I think this is my best bet so I don't get any smudging. All right, I'm just going to place it right on top of my little piece there, like this. And then that covers that. And then I cut another piece here of the pattern paper. So again, this is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, and I just cut it down on the sides the same way we did the front piece. Glue to the back. And attach that right in there to cover that up. Just like so. And make sure it's nicely adhered, and then we'll close that up. All right, now I've got some strips of pattern paper cut for these little top sections and bottom sections. So this measures 3/4 of an inch by 4 3/4. And I'm just going to add my glue to these. Just like so. Just with that nice even white frame all around. And then I've got one for the bottom as well. And then we'll just attach that one right down here. Alright, so I've used some of the ephemera here to create a little cluster. And what I did is I popped up the banner layer and the little heart I just glued directly on. And then I'm going to pop up just the top half of my little jar here. And I'm going to remove those backings and place it so that the jar is basically just at the bottom of our point. And then just place that on there. Just like that. Alright guys, so that finishes our cute little photo storage folder, expandable. This is so darn cute. And I just love the idea of this. So you can place your little 4x6 photos in here. And I just love the idea of this even to include with an album. So if someone knows they want to put those photos in that book, you know, they can just add the photos to the folder until they're ready to add them into the book. I think that's such a cute idea. It's super sturdy, really, really nice. Just, I absolutely love it. So hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial and I hope you're enjoying this spring series. If you haven't yet, I would love if you would subscribe and like this video and leave me a comment. That would be fantastic. I love to hear from you guys. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.